Welcome to the Style Sports Hub, presented by Van Ganaway Chevrolet.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Sports Hub podcast presented by Van Ganaway Chevrolet. I'm your host, Kyle Coppola. Great to have you all here today. Thank you to all of our partners that make this show possible: Lake Center Home Care, Lake Sumter State College, Lassiter Ware Insurance and Auto Owners Insurance, and of course, Van Ganaway Chevrolet. Today we have a special show with Lake Center Home Care. Before we get to there, we've got some great FHSAA playoff games this weekend, and boy, it's a great schedule of games. Cocoa playing Eustis High in Class 2S, second straight district championship for Eustis this year. Troy Saladen, he's thrown for over 2,000 yards of total offense this year. He has 29 touchdowns. LaShawn Williams, 11 touchdowns and 1,027 yards receiving. That crew has been terrific this year. Defensively, Nick Chandler leads the team with 81 total tackles, and Skari Minnis with 74. Xavier Bryant leads the Panthers with 3 interceptions. He's a dangerous cornerback, and I'll tell you what, if you're looking for an upset this weekend, could Eustis do an ultimate upset with Cocoa? We're going to find out, but that's going to be a good one over in Cocoa. Meanwhile, South Sumter playing against Nature Coast Tech. South Sumter as the 2 seed. They're going to be hosting Nature Coast Tech this weekend. QB Will Ammons, 51 for 53 with 561 yards, 5 touchdowns. Jacarian Turner leads the team offensively and defensively, and that team has been having a great year. This is their first ever game on artificial turf, so it should be an interesting season. They played 5 games so far on the brand new field over there at South Sumter. They're one of 2 schools who have brand new surfaces. The Village is also going to artificial turf, so now you have 3 out of 14 schools that play on artificial surfaces in Lake County. Meanwhile, Class 3S, Leesburg and Auburndale going up. Leesburg, they are hosting their first playoff game in years. Great to see them. A 9-1 finish overall, the first time in school history, and the best finish since 1992 for the Yellow Jackets. The most points scored in the regular season in school history, averaged 43 points per game, gave up only 12 points per game, and the average win margin of 30-plus points is one of the largest in school history. So Stephen Moffitt, voted 3S District 8 Coach of the Year, outscored their opponents 407 points to 104 points. QB Solomon Georges voted 3S District 8 Player of the Year. Meanwhile, Lake Mineola taking on Haines City this weekend. That's going to be a good one. The SSAA Class 5A State Championship is in Lakeland. Mount Dora Christian Academy is playing against St. Stephen's. That should be a good one, as well as the 8-man playoff as well. Liberty Christian Prep playing Foundation Christian Academy. This is Liberty Christian Prep's first ever playoff game, and it's their first ever one that they'll be hosting. So a great thing going over there at LCP, so we wish them the best of luck. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to welcome in the COO of Lake Center Home Care, Lori Davis. Lori, thank you for joining us today on the Sports Hub.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Lake Center Home Care, you guys are doing some great things over there. Can you tell us a little bit about Lake Center Home Care and what it's all about?
Sure. We are a skilled home health agency. We also recently added private duty just because we had a need. We needed to fill a hole there. We had a lot of patients who, after they got through with their recovery, still needed some added benefits of having someone in the home helping out with them. So we added that, and it's doing fantastic.
Awesome. What is skilled or private duty home care? That's very interesting.
The difference between skilled and private duty, skilled is if you're recovering from a surgery or a stay in the hospital, that sort of thing. We work off of a physician's order, and private duty is if you need things in your home like light housekeeping, medication reminders, companion services. That's what private duty is, where you don't need an order for that. You just say that this is what we need, and we send somebody out.
Now, you've been working with Lake Center Home Care the last couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
You were part-time from 2017 to 2021.
I was.
Why did you ultimately come over full-time to Lake Center Home Care? Because you were in the financial industry for a while.
I was, yeah. I spent 28 years in the financial industry in this area. Shayna is the one who is the CEO. She started the Lake Center Home Care with another organization. They purchased it originally. So Shayna came on board as the CEO in 2017, convinced me that it started growing and needed, more time from me, more time in the COO position, because I started off in the CFO position, and saw an opportunity that I just couldn't resist to make the change.
Now, you're a second-generation Floridian here, too. You're
I am.
Originally from the Sumter area.
I am.
Of course, grew up around this area. You've seen explosive growth the last couple of years
I have.
In this area. What are your thoughts on the explosive growth, not only from the villages, but Leesburg and the surrounding communities?
It's amazing. The south end of Sumter County has a lot of vacant land, a lot of empty land. So there's a lot of growth that's coming that direction just because the land's there. The opportunity for them to develop is there. The amazing thing about the growth that's happening are all the amenities that are coming to the area, the opportunities for the students to see what's going to happen here. It's just amazing.
And talking about the opportunities, not only for the students graduating, whether that be athletically, whether they're going to college, whether the military, they're coming back to Lake County and they have opportunities. And you're also providing those opportunities because you started with, I think it was like 34 clients, and now you're well over that number. I think you have like 45 or 34 people that you had working for you. Now you have over 200. It's unbelievable what you guys are doing over there. What are the opportunities that you're providing for the community as far as Lake Center Home Care goes?
Well, the important thing to us is Shayna and I are both from this area, like you said, and this isn't just about a job for us. This is our reputation. We're taking care of our neighbors. We're taking care of people in the community who we've known our entire life. And with the growth in the area, when we were growing up, Shayna attended Leesburg High. I went to South Sumter. There wasn't an option here. You had to leave the area if you were going to do anything. And for us to stay in the area was kind of unheard of, or come back to the area. But it's not like that anymore. We have all kinds of opportunities here. Lake Center Home Care is always looking for registered nurses, physical therapy assistants. We're looking for people all the time. But for us, it's taking care of the people that we know and that we've grown up knowing, and our neighbors.
Yeah, that's what you guys do so well, and especially getting them basically repaired to go back out, whether it be into the community, or whether just getting them better enough to stand on their own. Talk about what that's like.
Well, it's very satisfying for us and our clinicians as well to see somebody come in with an injury, or recovering from a surgery, or a disease that they're trying to recover from, to see them come back to health and be able to function, and for them to do that in their own home as opposed to being in a hospital is, everybody wants to be in their own home. They don't want to have to deal with that. They don't want to have to catch something else if they're in the hospital, or be exposed to another disease, or, they just want to be able to be in the comfort of their own home. And it's so satisfying to see that come to fruition and see them recover and get back to living in the beautiful sunshine state that we have here, and enjoy all the amenities that life has.
And, I'm from Boston, so a lot of that at home care, a lot of people just go to the hospital and everything like that. But it's great to see you leading the way as far as that goes. Would you say COVID had an impact at all as far as the home care went? Maybe people not wanting to go to the hospital, they want to get better at their house. Did you see any of that going down?
It did. They wanted to be in their own home and to recover there. It did. But we really took off from 2017 till now. We've just exploded with growth. And I think the difference is being local, being from here, we've got a vested interest in this. and we want everybody to know that when they call us, we're going to be able to take care of them.
And a lot of people need to know that you graduated from South Sumter High School as well.
I did.
You're a graduate in the area. What has it been like to see South Sumter start to take off as well? Because they're, as a public school, they're starting to take off. Ty Lawrence has done some incredible things with the program, and the football program has breeded some NFL players as well.
It has.
Keanu Neal, one of them,
Yes.
who played for the Atlanta Falcons. It must be enlightening to see that.
It's amazing. When I graduated, I'm not afraid to say, in 1990, it was a much different place, very rural. But I went over last year and watched a baseball game, and one of the varsity baseball games there, and they were in the middle of redoing resurfacing the football field then. So I got to see it when it was all torn up and they were getting ready to put the new surface down. It was just amazing because the school's grown so much, and there's so many more amazing things there than 30 years ago. So
yeah, it continues to grow every single year. We see it, and that's terrific for the community, the Lake Penisofsky area as well. Grew up over in that area, and I know that they're really doing as much as possible to educate everybody over there and make it more like the Lake County area. And they've worked really hard at that the last couple of years. What are some of the best stories that you have had in your time at Lake Center Home Care that you've been a part of so far?
I like the contact with the patients. I'm not a clinician, so I don't go out. I just talk to them on the phone. But I like being able to get the phone call when they call in to tell me that a clinician has done a really good job for them, that they've loved who we've sent out, and that they are healing and doing well. That's my favorite part of it.
Yeah, and you're doing such a great job over there. Lake Center Home Care says it's building a healthy community for all. What does that mean to you?
It means a lot because this is my community. I'm not just here trying to do a job. I'm here making sure that the patients that we care about are being taken care of.
What you have a couple of those stories, being that you were from the financial industry and you come over to the healthcare industry. Was there any type of a sort of overlap as far as the two? Because I feel like they're two definitely different industries for
It is.
you.
It's definitely a different industry, but since I handle more of the business side of it, that numbers are numbers. So handling the business side is the financial industry prepared me for that in some ways. But overall, I'm learning something new every day about how things are done in healthcare that it wasn't done that way in the banking industry.
Yeah.
But it's amazing getting to see the transition, the transformation for the patients. And getting to read the surveys at the end that they're doing well and they're pleased with our service. Yeah,
and everybody seems to be pleased with your service. Every time I go on and I see the reviews and everything, you guys are doing an amazing job over there. So,
thank you.
Kudos to you guys and everything that you're providing for our community. We appreciate everything that you're doing for the community.
Thank you.
All right, coming up next, we'll be talking with Shayna Grunewald, the CEO of Lake Center Home Care. Up next on the Sports Hub. Are you in need of a new car or truck? Then zoom into Van Genoway Chevrolet, a company that has always been driven by superior customer service. Van Genoway Chevrolet is your hometown good folk Chevrolet dealer. The dealership has helped generations of Lake County families find the perfect car, truck, or SUV. After 37 years and thousands of Chevrolets sold, Van Genoway has learned a lot about their customers. They don't want to be pressured, and they don't need a gimmick or giveaway. They just want fair prices and a great overall car buying experience. If you've had bad experiences purchasing automobiles elsewhere, then switch gears and try Van Genoway Chevrolet. Chances are you'll end up being a part of the ever-growing family of satisfied and loyal customers. Check out Van Genoway Chevrolet at vgchevy.com or call them today at 352-343-2400. Van Genoway Chevrolet. Find new roads. Hey, everybody, we are back here on the Sports Hub podcast presented by Van Ganaway Chevrolet. I'm your host, Kyle Coppola. Thank you guys for joining us. Right now, I'm sitting with CEO of Lake Center Home Care, Shayna Grunewald. Shayna, thank you for coming on the Sports Hub.
Of course, I'm happy to be here.
All right. Shayna, you grew up in the Lake County community. You graduated Leesburg High School quite a few years ago. Can you tell us?
Thank you for the reminder.
1993, I believe it was.
Yes.
So you grew up in a time of some athletics explosions.
Yes.
At Leesburg High School. Can you talk about where Leesburg High was and where it's at today?
It's completely different. Although like I said earlier, I remember the players: Ty Lawrence, Steve Gooden, Orion Singleton. We had a great football team back in the day too, and it's amazing to watch how amazing they are now. My niece is a senior at Leesburg High School. She actually just won homecoming queen.
Awesome.
Shout out to Julia. And to watch them play, it was just amazing. The coach has done phenomenal things with the program. My grandfather was part of the Silly Six that helped build the stadium. He was Jack Wilson. The press box is named after him. And he did Coach's Corner on the radio. And so to watch everything, he would just be amazed at everything that's come to fruition for them.
Yeah, they really have. The last couple of years they've come through. They've got a couple of state championships with the basketball program. Their weightlifting team won a state championship
The school
this year.
itself looks completely different too. It's a beautiful campus. They've just done amazing things there.
Yeah, they continue every single year, be it the construction academy that they have, which is taken off. Just some really cool things that Leesburg has going over there. And graduating in 93, and then you look here from that time till about 2017, Leesburg went through some challenging periods of time. They had a 67% graduation rate in 2017, and then Principal Randolph, who was on the program just about 2 weeks ago, he changed things once he got there. They have now gone from a 67% graduation rate at Leesburg High School to 87%. That's a 20% increase in just 7 years. What does that mean to you?
Oh, that's amazing. It really is. I taught for 10 years prior to getting my MBA and going into healthcare. And I know how difficult it can be. But when you have someone that cares about the community, embedded in the community, and cares about the kids, if you care about the kids, pay attention to what's going on in their lives, and do things to encourage them, that's how you see increase in graduation rates, test scores, all over, just success in general.
And you're having a ton of success at Lake
We
Center
are.
Home
We
Care.
are. I'm really proud of us, the whole team. We're doing amazing. It's something that I actually started the process in 2016, working with someone to purchase Lake Center Home Care, and took over in 2017. Like you said earlier, we had about 34, 35 patients. Now, sometimes, depending on the month, we can average anywhere from 175 to 50. Then we added private duty, which is amazing. And it's just really, I'm in awe of everything we've accomplished.
Lori talked a little bit earlier about private duty home care, but what has that changed as far as the business model goes? Because people seem to really enjoy that service that you're providing.
The big difference is when you're working with skilled, it's an insurance Medicare based. That's how we get paid. Private duty is private pay. Your long-term care policies will reimburse for it. But what it does is it gives people, like she said, the freedom to stay in their home. Studies have proven that people do better in their own home versus, being in rehabs, assisted livings. Not that those don't have a place, but people really crave staying in their own home, and we are giving them the ability to do that.
Have you been involved with athletics as well? Because with the athletics in the past and the show, this is a sports show, of course. How do people recover as far as whether it's athletics, getting them back out, whether it's just getting them walking again? How has that? How does the process work at Lake Center Home Care?
Well, that's a good question. On the skilled side, we do a ton of after ortho care patients, whether it's a shoulder replacement, knee replacement, hip replacement. You have a lot of these people that have moved here. They're very active. They love golf. Pickleball's new. Things like that. And so when they're in their own home, receiving rehab, physical therapy, things like that, nursing care, they do wonderful. They get back out there. They're doing amazing. We have a lot of good orthopedic surgeons in the area that know what they're doing and know how to help them. And then with us coming in with the rehabilitation in the home, they're doing fabulous.
And the rehabilitation and all sorts of other things you got going on. You have medical social workers, occupational therapy that you all do. Can you describe some of the different things that Lake Center Home Care does?
Yeah, we don't just, we have a lot of patients too that are in need. They need resources in the community.
Mm-hmm.
They need help with daily learning, relearning their daily activity, things that that's what occupational therapy does, your ADLs. It's not just, sometimes we have some really sick patients. We have patients on IV meds. We have patients with wound vacs. It's crazy because I think a lot of people have an idea of what home health is. And then when you realize the high acuity of care that we actually can provide in the home, I don't think people realize that. They think hospital setting, rehab, nursing home. We can do almost anything in the home. And then they get to stay there and they have better outcomes.
Yeah, it seems that keeping them at home just increases their happiness, I would say.
Oh, yeah, they don't want to lose their independence. Mm-hmm. That's the scariest part for people. So if they're able to stay there and we're able to help them, then it's a win-win. It's
a win-win for everybody involved. What is ACHC accreditation? Because I saw that on your website as well.
Yes.
What does that all mean as far as your business goes?
Well, there are different accrediting bodies, whether you're a hospital, home health, rehab, and ACHC is one of the accrediting bodies. It is a very strenuous, arduous process. We just recently were reaccredited, and pretty much they come in and they go over everything with a fine-tooth comb. They audit your charts. They go out with your clinicians to make sure they're giving great care. And I have to say, we passed with flying colors. We did wonderful. I have some of the best clinicians in the community working for me, a wonderful team, and that's why we are as successful as we are.
Yeah, and you continue the success every single time we see you guys. You're just continuing the growth in the area. What are some of your favorite stories that have come through Lake Center Home Care? Do you have any favorites that
ironically, last night I received a message through Facebook Messenger from someone that I know that was just praising our clinicians because someone they cared about received our care. And that, whether you're having a bad day, you're tired, whatever, when you hear that and you get positive feedback on the people that you're sending into someone's home, that feels so good. To know that I get phone calls from friends saying, I'm recommending you to so-and-so because they know that if we go in and take care of them, my name means a lot to me in this community, and I have a lot of friends in this community, and if they trust me to take care of their loved ones, that's a big deal. Yeah. So that's the best part of the whole thing.
And what does that mean to have started this just in 2016, and then to be where you're at? It has to feel really
it's amazing. It's amazing. One thing I pride myself on, I'm not clinical at all. I know how to run a business, but I also know how to delegate, and I know how to put the right people in the right position. From our nursing supervisors, Ashley, Kristen, Jackie, we have great people, our therapists, Jenny, Steve, Lori, our office staff, Siobhan, Lindsay, Bailey, give them all shouts out. I mean, there's tons of them. And I just have really found that if I can put the best person in the right position, everything works like clockwork.
Now, before you started Lake Center Home Care, what were you involved with, and how did you eventually evolve into that? Because you ended up getting your master's and everything like that.
I actually went to school for communications. I wanted to be an NFL sideline reporter. I worked in the TV business for a while, and then I found myself in the teaching. Taught 4th grade. I taught 6th grade. I actually taught teachers. I was a math instructional coach. But during that, I knew I loved it, but there was so much that was involved, and it was teaching to a test, and I wanted something different. So I got my MBA, started marketing for a home health agency, and just kept learning, and this opportunity presented itself, and I ran with it.
And communication is so important, of course. Yes. Being that you had your degree in communication, how do you manage all of these people that you have? Because there's a lot going on. There's things going all over the place as far as your business is concerned.
I think that stress can be a good thing or a bad thing. I think it's how we look at it. And I tend to look at it as all of these things working at one time, as I thrive on it. I'm not good when I'm bored or sedentary. I like different things moving in the process of everything going on. And it just being able, I'm someone that everyone knows they can always get a hold of, regardless of the CEO title. I'm always available, whether it's a clinician, a patient in the community. My cell phone number is open to anyone, and I keep those lines of communication open, and I try really hard just to make sure I'm there when there is a need. And I think that's part of the success.
You could have went into a lot of different businesses and avenues and everything like that, but you chose healthcare. Why did you choose healthcare? What does it mean to you?
My mom's a nurse. I don't do well with the clinical part of it as far as, the wanting to be a nurse or anything like that, but it fascinates me. And in this area, healthcare is huge because of the aging population. And we still have, our groups of people our ages and the younger people, and watching the explosive growth and watching the different, like UF Health coming in, purchasing the hospitals, and seeing all the learning experiences that we're now seeing in the hospitals. I just think healthcare was one of those things that it's important. I want my loved ones, people I care about, to have good health care, and I wanted to be a part of that. I wanted to make sure that we were providing good health care. So that's why I did it.
Yeah, and you're definitely providing it. Well, what do you think the future of healthcare is in our area? I mean, I feel like I'm almost watching sort of a future of it right now with Lake Center Home Care, and what you guys are providing has been really terrific, because I wish my grandparents had that opportunity. They ended up in hospitals and they never got out, and they never enjoyed those luxuries of home. What do you think the future of healthcare is in the next many years?
I think you will definitely see more people being able to stay in their home. Other countries have done studies and shown and proven they just have better outcomes. I think the longer that you can keep someone in their home and not in the hospital, like Lori said, when you're in the hospital, regardless of what it's for, you're exposed to other things regardless of how well their infection control is. So, and people want to feel comfortable, and they feel more comfortable when they're in their own home. And I think the future, with the amount of people moving to the area, we are only going to see this grow, and especially with private duty, because they might not have a skilled need, but they might need someone to help them in the home, light meal prep. They might need someone to take them to an appointment, and they don't have anyone else to rely on. So I think that's where we're going to see it go.
Yeah, and I think that's amazing that you're able to just provide that service. Just if you need to be transported somewhere, they're there for you. You don't have to hire a Lyft or Uber driver. They're going to be there for you,
right.
Which is really, really cool of what you got going on. As far as your patients are concerned, and as far as what you have going on other than private duty and skilled nursing, what else does Lake Center Home Care, what do you want to do the next couple of years? Are there any other things that you want to get as far as Lake Center Home Care goes? Are you happy with where you're at right now?
Well, you're always happy, but growth is always a positive. Success, good feedback, people being happy with our care. Of course, I'd love to see us grow, but I want to also grow responsibly and make sure that every patient feels like they're a loved one that they're taking care of to the best of our ability.
I did have to talk about the explosive growth in the area, because you've been here sinse basically the beginning of it all.
Born and raised.
Born and raised in the Lake and Sumter area. What has it been like to be here and see all this going down? I mean, you've lived
It's amazing. It really is. I joke with people that, like Lori said, the amenities, I can remember back in the day when we were excited because we got Olive Garden and Red Lobster, and we thought that was the greatest thing. And then Chili's came, so the Villages has done so much, and the other retirement communities as well. They've brought things to the area that we probably wouldn't have. Word on the street is we might be getting a Four Rivers in the South Sumter area, which is huge. Things like that, and meeting new people. I just recently met a couple from California that moved to the Villages, the sweetest couple, and they were just amazed and in love with what they described as Disney World for the retirement community, and it's amazing to watch.
Yeah.
And I love it. I think it's great. It can only get better.
Real quickly, I wanted to get your thoughts. We have a huge football game. You're a Leesburg graduate. I'm sure you're going to be at the game this weekend. Leesburg is hosting a playoff game for the first time in probably close to a decade. A huge game for them. What do you think of the outcome of this one? They are ranked as the 3 seed coming in here. They're going to be going up against a 6 seed. So we'll see, I guess, how it happens.
I'm going to predict they're going to win by 2 touchdowns.
2 touchdowns.
2 touchdowns. They have an amazing team. Watching them, I watched them run up and down that field. I've seen at least 3 games this year, and they are just – I love football. And watching a team just run the field like that is amazing. That coach has done wonders, and those kids love it, and they're having a blast, and that's what it's about.
And it's great to have him there as well, because he's a UCF graduate. He's been around.
I am as well.
Yeah, and you're obviously a UCF graduate as well. What has it been like to see UCF grow as well? Because they have satellite campuses around here as well. It's a really exciting time for UCF.
It's a totally different campus from when I was there, obviously. And their football team started off really well. They've had some struggles, but they're doing better, and their growth is amazing. And watching their football program and their other programs and the campus in general, they have some amazing programs there. Their engineering department, their communications department, things like that. It's an amazing school, and I love watching it grow. Yeah.
And they just joined the Big 12 this year, too, so they got some really good things going on. Shayna, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me. This was fun.
Appreciate you. All right, coming up next, we'll wrap up the show next on the Sports Hub. Are you ready for your future to take flight? Whether you're graduating high school or looking to level up, Lake Sumter State College offers affordable degrees and certificates that will punch your ticket to success in a rewarding career. Plus, with programs like Direct Connect to UCF, your opportunities with LSSC are endless. So, what are you waiting for? Join us in Leesburg, Claremont, Sumterville, Four Corners, or online. Learn more at lssc.edu. All right, we're back here on the Sports Hub podcast. Thank you guys for joining us today. I want to thank my guests, Shayna Grunewald and Lori Davis, for coming on the program. Really appreciated them coming out here. Thank you to all of our partners that make this show possible. Of course, Van Ganaway Chevrolet, Lake Center Home Care, Lake Sumter State College, Lasterware Insurance, and Auto Owners Insurance. And, of course, again, Van Ganaway Chevrolet for everything they provide. You can check out all of the Sports Hub content on our website, LakeandSumterStyle.com, LakeandSumterStyleMagazine.com, and you can check out the Sports Hub section. We got all sorts of stuff on there. We've got athlete profiles, we got sports scores, all sorts of fun content that you can cruise around and check out. Good luck to all of the Lake and Sumter County teams in the FHSAA playoffs this week, and we'll see you next week on the Sports Hub podcast.
This has been the Style Sports Hub, presented by Van Ganaway Chevrolet.